I think we're live. Chat, are we live?
I'm hearing
Yes,
that
we
we're
are.
live.
I'm hearing reports. There's some unidentified sources from the State Department that are revealing that we're live.
Yeah. What
That's
is
what I'm
up,
being
people of the
told.
internet? It is me, a real American, back in with a new stream, and that is right. We are live on this beautiful March 16th, 2026. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm having a great day myself. And as you can tell, we're joined by Maga Mao and
Yes,
Real
MAGA
Texan.
Mao is back. MAGA Mao is back. Will Stansel's gone. It's the end of an era. We're back to MAGA Mao because some people are dooming way too much. And
Okay, yeah.
I have
So today's stream was gonna be talking about the dumb shit known as Ted Cruz and some other stuff. There's a lot of dumb stuff's going on. So that's kind of the point of the stream today. We're gonna talk about what's going on. You know, the black pills, the red pills, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot going on. So before we get into today's stream, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the daily content. And if you have any questions or concerns or want to support the channel even further, the best way is sending super chats via the chat. Again, I'll read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chats are the best way to get your questions answered. Um, Wait, what happened to Will Stansel? Oh no, Luke, his Twitter, his Discord account's like now Maga Mal. It was Will Stansel for a while, but
I used to be MAGA Mao. For old fans of the channel will
yeah,
remember, like a year ago, back during the peak Trump era, I was MAGA
the
Mao, and then I kind
peak
of
Trump.
that was like
Uh,
early on in
yeah,
2025.
I
That
guess that
was
was
the
kind of
peak.
that was definitely the
So we
height
need to
of
bring this back. We
Trump.
got to manifest this back. And honestly, I think the polling is actually starting to return to that era. But we'll
Yeah,
get
we'll
to
get to
that.
that. Yeah,
Um,
we'll get to that.
Hello, poster
So,
tubs.
hello.
Hello.
All right, couple super chats to catch up to. Well, the Crazy Bear for 2. Everyone knows there's crosshairs and Thunes right now. Yeah, John Thune might be in big trouble. We'll get to that.
He
Richard
doesn't
had
have the John Thune doesn't have the kind of markings of a leader, but yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Again, we'll get to Thune in a second because I think he might be forced out
what are you
by
talking,
Trump.
Matt? He's just too busy putting on the next Dogs of the Senate
Yeah.
parade.
Not to be fair, that was Tom Tillis, but yeah, same thing. Richard Head for 5. Ted Cruz and Warren for what he said. Crisis Kin is no way anti-Semitic. And for him to double down is ridiculous. It only helps Israel schizos. Yeah, we'll get to what Ted Cruz said in a second. Again, like this party does not deserve your support, but we'll get to that. Good lord. American Nerd for 2. What the F is wrong with Senate Republicans? We're talking with the Senate GOP. They're useless. President Gilbert Giddy for 2. Late Irish politics and late North Korean politics. That's real. American Nerd for 2. Susie Wiles has breast cancer. Prayers for her. Yeah, we'll pull that up because there was speculation she was going to retire from politics, and we didn't know why. Some people were saying, "Oh, she purposely sabotaged Trump and she's on her way out." No, apparently she has cancer, so we'll get to
They
that.
said she was sabotaging the Trump 2024 campaign
Yeah,
by telling them to focus on Hispanics, and then Hispanics almost voted Republican. So,
yeah.
like, yeah, that
I guess we can
it's
start with the Susie
stupid.
Wiles stuff.
Yeah.
One more super chat. Horrorland for 5. Real late American politics. And Luke, I'll say this. And Luke J. Gagnon, the real MAGA patriots who save this
Oh, yeah,
country.
that's my
Real.
thing. That's my like catchphrase now. I found out. No, I will say this, and we'll wait and see, because
Yeah.
that's like every time I'm talking about something foreign policy related on my channel, I just say we'll wait and see, because like that's what you do. You wait and see. We'll
Yeah.
monitor the
There's a lot of
situation.
when it comes to foreign policy, that's one thing people gotta understand. You gotta wait and see. There are a lot of foreign policy shit because stuff happens
Mhm.
it takes months. Like look at Venezuela. Venezuela right now is possibly Trump's biggest success. Like foreign policy wise. I can't think of a bigger success as of now than what happened in Venezuela. And that
I
took a
think
couple months to really
Venezuela is the biggest foreign policy success for America since when was like probably the first Gulf War,
go for.
maybe Grenada.
Yeah, I
Probably
mean,
like
Taking out Bin Laden, probably.
oh yeah,
Bin Laden though that was more of a small scale operation though. Well,
Yeah,
was
that
symbolic.
wasn't. Yeah, that was just getting one guy.
yeah. Now to be
But that
fair
was
though,
very
like
symbolic.
that was like obviously what that meant was to a lot of people was a huge deal, obviously. But
Wasn't that done in Pakistan? We didn't like really we
yes,
didn't invade Pakistan
no, we just sent
necessarily.
it in the
No,
we sent in a
Yeah.
strike force to get the guy. So, but okay. So let's start with the sad news that broke earlier today. President Trump announced that Susie Wiles has breast cancer. It's apparently it's early stage, so that's a positive, I guess. It's not like a late stage thing. Anna's decided to take on this challenge immediately as opposed to waiting. So I think she's gonna retire. She's getting up there. How old is she right now? She's getting up there in age, I know. And now she has breast cancer. I mean, like, at this point, she might as well retire. Let's see. How old is Susie Wiles?
Is 68.
Yeah, I mean, you would think she would maybe retire, right? Surely.
Probably.
And, like,
We'll
spend
see.
time with her family and stuff. But yeah, either way, so Susie Wiles does have cancer. Now, you know what's kind of scummy about this? All these scumbags the last couple months, you know who I'm referring to, they were trying to push this idea that, oh, guys, Susie Wiles, she's sabotaging everybody because, reasons, I guess, and that, oh, she's leaving, she's dipping because she wants to screw Trump over. Turns out, no, she just has cancer. So, yeah, so much for that theory, by the way. So I do wonder, does Susie Wiles retire by the end of the year? Because that's been kind of the rumor going around that she's gonna retire.
For right now, probably not.
I don't know.
I mean, I think she already said that she's going to be doing full-time or living full-time in the White House or something.
I don't know. But either way, though, I mean, with Susie Wiles like potentially on her way out, we don't know for sure, but there's been a lot of speculation brewing. Who does Trump pick as the new chief of staff then?
I mean, Sid Miller. Well, not Sid Miller. Stephen Miller would be cool, but
it might be. I mean, it's
know,
either
maybe Dan. I don't know, Dan Scavino, maybe.
James Blair, maybe. I don't know. There's a couple good
One of the
options.
deputies, probably.
I mean, like, honestly, he has some really good deputies. He has James Blair. He has Stephen Miller. They're good options. So,
Stephen Miller. Okay, chief of staff doesn't have to be confirmed by the Senate, right?
No, that's just a White House position.
Okay, that's all right.
It's like the press secretary can be whoever.
Yeah, because if Stephen Miller had to be confirmed by the
no,
Senate,
it's not one of those things where you need to like confirm it. No, it's just the chief of staff's just a White House position. So, Marco Rubio. No, Marco Rubio is not going to be the chief of staff.
He has enough jobs already.
Yeah, give him a break.
He's gonna be the new leader of Cuba too.
Yeah,
we gotta spare him a little.
Yeah. Virginia Fox. I mean, no, just no. But yeah, I think it's gonna be either Stephen Miller or James Blair. Which those are good options right there. I think you got some good options, but it sucks though because all these scumbags have been saying like, "Oh, guys, Susie Wiles is retiring because she knows it's over for Blumph." Turns out she may just retire because she has cancer. So, but yeah, prayers for Susie Wiles. Again, we've been kind of critical of her. She's been better than some people say she has, but still, I don't think she's been the best chief of staff.
Again, she's the reason that we did so well with Hispanics in 24. She was the one, which, by the way, they said that her focusing on that was sabotaging the Trump 2020.
I remember that, yeah. And that turns out that was ingenious, what we did.
We are kind of waiting with Hispanics. We're not losing them, but we're waiting with them. That's pretty obvious. And we need somebody who can.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm not too sure with that because the polling doesn't say that. And like the only reason that people say we're losing them is like these special election results, which by the way aren't even consistent. We just flipped. Real Texan can talk about that. A at-large city council seat in a town in Texas that's like 50%.
In Grand Prairie, Texas, which is a pretty big suburb of Dallas. It's plurality Hispanic. Voted for Kamala Harris by 21 points.
Yeah, we flipped
and
it.
Republicans flipped it. I believe the Republican was kind of a liberal Republican, but still.
But the point is, it's like
now I will also say though, this was local elections in Texas do not have party affiliation. So
well, yeah, but you can argue with a lot of these other races too. So what's like?
Well, I also mean as in like party ID isn't on the ballot.
Well, I know, but like a lot of these other races though, for like local stuff, they don't have party ID. So, but yeah, you notice how now they're saying not just all special elections, they're now just saying, oh, the congressional special elections. You notice how they're starting to phrase it now? I noticed that. They're starting to say not just all special elections, the congressional ones. Because now, in the last couple of weeks, Republicans have been doing a lot better in these local specials. I don't know why, but they like Prince William County, Virginia.
Georgia special, like for House. We didn't do that bad in
Yeah, I mean,
all things considered.
well, you notice how they try to spin this? Like they're trying to say, oh, the Republican only got like 30% or whatever it was. There was like 8 Republicans running. And the Democrat outspent everybody. He ran for the seat 2 years prior. And he still did not crack 40%.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's just bullshit. Charlie Howard for 10. This happened a few weeks ago, but it's crazy. A man was arrested for planting a bomb in a church in North Carolina, in Gardner, North Carolina, the town where my in-laws live. It's scary it was that close. Yeah, that's just wild. People are going off the rails lately. It's going to get worse with the Iran stuff, which that's pathetic, but I did not think it was possible to become even more insane after the Epstein stuff. I really thought the Epstein stuff was rock bottom, but somehow bombing Iran, which I'm not even the biggest fan of, somehow that broke more people than the Epstein files, which is just wild. But anyways, President Gilbert Giddy up for 2, or Black Queen Tyrone for Chief of Staff. Oh gosh. A Glitch Evie for 5. Rubio at every position. Rubio for world leader. It has been foretold in the ancient text he was destined to lead to the world into its golden century. Yeah, it's real. But anyways, so I guess we could get into the kind of the headline of the stream, all right? Because, oh boy.
And that is that North Carolina is back on the menu.
Well,
actually, that's not the main story, but we'll talk
yeah,
about it later.
we'll get to that.
MAGA is dead, apparently.
This is the 30th time it's been dead the last month. All right, let's just
dead because Trump made a post supporting a podcaster that I don't.
Okay,
like.
let's be clear about one thing. Okay, let's be clear about one thing. I am not a big fan of Mark Levin.
Yeah, let's cut the crap. Mark Levin sucks.
Yeah,
he's not great.
Let's get that out of the way right off the bat. Mark Levin is one of the worst people out there. He should not be in the White House, anywhere near the White House. Listen,
he's a rhino neocon.
Yeah, and
he actually is a neocon.
He's one of the few people that you could unironically say is Israel first.
We should primary him off the Mark Levin show.
That's real. But yeah, so that's the thing with Mark Levin. When people say everyone's Israel first, he is one of the people that you could say, yeah, that guy is definitely, he's Israel first to a certain extent. But what happened last night was Trump put out a Truth Social statement where he basically backed Mark Levin and he shat indirectly on Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson, which, by the way, we got to talk about Tucker Carlson now and that whole shit show, but
Tehran Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
He's not even Qatari anymore. Qatar got rid of, Qatar disavowed his take.
Are you serious?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. No, because he was saying that, the Iranian strikes at all the Gulf states were Israeli.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It was guys, it was Israel that, even though it's the year 2026, all these countries could see where it's coming from. Seriously, and Iran admitted to it. They're just we did it.
The Israelis, what they did is the Israelis did the mind control thing, and they went to decide the bodies of whoever runs Iran at this point, whoever's left of the IRGC, and they said they did it, even though the Israelis did it, guys. That's totally how it works.
Yeah. So, okay, here's the Trump statement about Mark Levin, and again, it's just, it's awful. Mark Levin, he also said, the thing that really pissed a lot of people off the most is, he said, Mark Levin only cares about and wants one thing, greatness and success for America, even though I have doubts about that. Those that speak ill of Mark will quickly fall by the wayside, as to the people whose ideas, policies, and footings are not sound. They are not MAGA. I am, and MAGA includes not allowing Iran, a sick, demented, and violent terrorist regime, to have a nuclear weapon to blow up the United States of America, the Middle East, and ultimately the rest of the world. So basically, that's what pissed people off. He's basically he didn't directly say it, like some people were claiming, but he kind of just implied that you bash Mark Levin, there's a good chance you're not MAGA, or whatever you want to call it. And what do you guys think about this? This is a statement that's going crazy right now.
No, I'll be real. This is a stupid tweet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to act like this is a good tweet, but at the end of the day, it's look, if you expected Donald Trump to just be a perfect person you agree with 100% of the time, you go back to DraftKings. That's all I'll say. And you should know this. You should know this because you've been watching this guy since 2015. I mean, let's not forget in 2015, he went on that debate stage and said he was the most pro-Israel option. He was going to
Yeah.
be the
Well,
most pro-Israel
even
president.
back in the
He was never
80s,
anti-Israel.
back in the freaking 80s, he was saying we gotta bomb Iran and take the island. He was saying that back then. I may not agree with it. I think it's still insanely risky, but it's like he's been talking about this for years. This shit, but people are just like they're making it like they're trying to like I don't know what's the word for it. They're trying to make like change history and try to change what Trump said. Trump was never an isolationist. I don't know where this idea came from. That he was ever this isolationist from like the 1840s or whatever. Like what?
He was like calling for bombing Iran over Syria in 2013.
Yeah.
And this is on record. You can look it up right now.
And people pull those tweets like, you know, oh, when a president's out of trouble, they invade another country, which, yeah, you could argue that, but Trump had no upside to doing this. Literally none.
He's also not invading Iran. He's just bombing them, technically.
Yeah. Now, you could argue
really
if we invade the island, you could argue that, but still, the point is, yeah, that's a good way to put it. They're trying to retcon his past takes. Yeah, they're trying to make it sound like he was an isolationist. He never was. He was never an isolationist. His foreign policy was always, yeah, we got to do everything we can to put Americans first. We got to be smart about it. If a country's like threatening Americans, we bomb the shit out of them. That's what he said. Back in 2015, he was saying this. Back in 2013, he was saying the same thing for years.
We're dying for Israel.
Oh, that
honestly, dying for Israel is like the for certain people online what like the Handmaid's Tale is for like feminists in 2017.
Yeah, I somebody actually put a tweet out on that, and they're not wrong. Like obviously,
Tubbs, you should make that a tweet.
I actually saw that tweet for someone.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, like obviously, the reason we went to war, again, the thing with Iran is a shit show, but it's like, yeah, people just completely changing what Trump said. You may not agree with what he's doing. I have issues with it, but don't try to claim that, oh, Trump back in 2015 was an isolationist and was pro-Iran. Go look at what he said about Iran back then. Go look it up. It's totally not an isolationist. Anyways. But yeah, that's the issue with Trump. Like, his biggest issue, and it's always been his biggest issue, is really two things. He really doesn't have a filter, which is hilarious half the time, but sometimes it does hurt him. But also, it's Trump. He has a big ego. We're in year, 11 of this? Are people just now realizing he has a big ego? Right? Seriously, do people just think he doesn't have an ego? I don't know.
I mean, who fucking doesn't?
Yeah, we're talking, but Trump is like, but Trump is like next level. Like, you know, let's be honest here. He has a giant ego. He's kind of egotistical. Sure. I mean, he kind of is.
He is. Nobody's denying that.
I mean, he is very narcissistic. Let's not kid ourselves with that.
Yeah, he is.
Cut the crap.
Shut up.
Let's cut the crap.
Oh my gosh. President Gilbert Giddy up for 10. Keep in mind, I was listening to the radio, which is extremely rare back in college, and Mark Levin said Ron DeSantis, the change and disruption to the establishment we needed, and a great president. Yeah, so that's why I'm not a fan of Levin. He's not a MAGA Republican or whatever. He's not. He's a grifter. He's a scam artist. That's what he is. But it's like he is not this MAGA Republican, but you could argue the same thing with like Lindsey Graham, which we all hate the guy, but there's a reason Trump praised him all the time now. You know why?
Because he's Israel first.
Oh gosh. But like, no, seriously, a good comparison. Look at how Lindsey Graham acts versus MTG.
Well, MTG just despises Trump now because, I mean, she unironically thinks that he's Israel first.
Oh, we'll talk about the tweet that she put out yesterday where it's like, we'll get to that. It's stupid. But guys, I hate
both MTG and Massey, but I'm at least I can at least respect Massey because he had the he at least has the balls to, like actually run for
Yeah, go
re-election
down
and
in the
lose.
flames.
Like MTG couldn't she just rage quit because she knew she was gonna lose her primary.
Yeah, I mean, like Massey at least like he's going out the ship. I just think he's so delusional that he thinks he's
I
gonna
forgot
win.
we were streaming.
Yeah, and then they're probably going to be the presidential and vice presidential nominees for the America First Party or
Oh
something.
no, it's gonna be no America First is like
No,
too
it's gonna,
like it's
America
and all their
First,
following is
look
gonna be from
inside.
Pakistan. Like all their following is gonna be from Pakistan or fucking Saudi Arabia.
okay. Anyways,
Pakistan, it's gonna be like Pakistan and Nigeria because that's where most of the fucking.
No,
conflict
Saudi
Okay,
Arabia
anyways.
doesn't like her.
Actually-
Dude,
actually,
Saudi
no,
okay,
Arabia
guys,
doesn't
shut
like
up.
Iran.
Yeah,
Shut
You
up.
shut up.
Actually, yeah.
Alex
Okay.
Ledbetter for
You're
2.
right.
Thoughts on the PPP Democrat Eternal for North Carolina? We'll get to that actually. That's a big poll
We'll
that
get
came
to,
out.
yeah.
Wild Crazy Bear for 2. Any bets Sarah Palin will pull a MTG? No. Sarah Palin's not like that. No. But so yeah, overall, guys, we'll get to the MTG tweet in a second, which is just fucking hilarious. But again, like, I hate what Trump said about Levin. I think it's stupid. I think it's out of touch. It helps nobody. Nobody likes Levin. In the year 2026, nobody gives a shit about this. But at the same time, you compare Levin to how some other people have been acting, you realize, oh, there's a reason. Trump's ego is huge. That's just a fact. And,
It's huge. It's huge.
it's huge. Well, but no, seriously, like, that's the problem with Trump.
Massive.
You have to, like,
his
you can be critical of Trump, but just don't go off the rails like MTG did. Like, don't do that. Because now you end up with people like Levin being in Trump's inner circle because all these other dumb shits just couldn't keep their mouth shut for 5 seconds. They had to keep going on and on about it. So, but anyways, the Levin stuff I don't know who this appeals to.
It doesn't appeal to anybody, and he's not trying to appeal to anybody. He's defending his friend.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that, but anyways, so overall, the Levin stuff that was stupid.
But again, at the end of the day, it's stupid. But at the end of the day, no one cares about this stuff offline, and that's the message I want to give. To
Yeah,
people.
let's talk about North Carolina because I thought this was a joke at first, this poll, but no, it's real. So just a little while ago, this was a Democrat Eternal, by the way. Okay, this was for a PPP, a Democrat pollster, and they have Roy Cooper winning, but
Shocker.
Luke, explain the poll right here. I pulled it up. Explain what's going on here.
Give me one moment.
Thank you.
Actually, you do.
All right, so Roy Cooper is at only 47%. Michael Whatley's at 44%. So that it's Roy Cooper plus 3. But you may notice something. The recalled vote for this poll was Trump 51, Harris 47.
Which
So
was like the exact margin of victory for North Carolina.
Yeah.
In the last election.
And Roy Cooper right now is not cracking Harris's margin yet. He is stuck at 47.
Did they poll the Green candidate that got his arm broken by?
That's a funny
cheating?
thing. It does not look like they did. Nope, not sure. 9%. No, they didn't. Because for those that don't know, there's a nutcase Green candidate that tried to storm a committee hearing. And now everybody loves him now. Even though it's like
he was going in there yelling about dying for Israel, and he got his hand broken by the government, and now he's running as like a single issue Palestine campaign, and that'll actually probably get him a lot of votes. I could see him doing pretty well. At a place like
that's
Durham,
what I think's going on in
or
North
Research
Carolina.
Triangle.
I think that's gonna fuck over Cooper. That's the funniest
I think
outcome.
let's be honest, it'll probably be memory holded, but I think
I don't know.
there's a very
Some of
good
these people
chance
are just so
that-
schizophrenic. I don't know. There's so many schizophrenics now.
Yeah, but I think it'll probably get memory holded. But I will say, I think if there's enough, there could be enough sympathy votes
How do you
to
keep
where
saying
Watley
memory hold?
actually
It's just
wins.
memory hold.
Memory holded. Yeah, it's memory hold.
Uh-huh.
Not hold it, but that's fine. Yeah, no,
Memory held.
Memory held. Yeah, I always thought that Cooper was overrated, but I was really concerned about Watley like polling 10 points behind.
Some of
but,
those polls are just horse shit.
yeah,
Those are
no, we
bullshit.
do need to spend like in the summer we need to rack up. We need to bump our North Carolina with anti-Cooper and pro-Watley ads.
Yeah.
Because we can't just start fucking campaigning in August. Because guess what? Cooper's been campaigning for years for this seat.
Yeah.
4
But
years.
it should be concerning that this is a Democrat pollster and they have Cooper lose or only up by 3. And he's not 50%. He's at 47. So that's
and one thing about this poll that I'd like to point out, and you pointed out earlier, was the fact that it uses recalled vote, and this is the biggest problem with these polls going into 2026. They aren't basing stuff off of recalled vote. What are they basing things off of? They're basing it off of party ID, which sucks because what ends up happening is 30% of the sample ends up being independents, and a lot of those independents are just left-leaning independents. That's what ends up happening. So yeah, it'll say it's a R+4 sample, but it will be like 30%, 34% Republican, 30% Democrat, and the rest will be independents, you know? So it'll show, oh, Trump won the state by 4. It's an R+4 sample. But no, when you do it by recalled vote, this gives you much more realistic samples.
Well, again, like obviously it's a little bit difficult because it is a midterm. We don't know how many people would have show up. But for context, back in 2022, which I know, excuse me, I know 2022 is a weird election, but the electorate was still like Biden +4 at the end of the day. Back in 2018, I think it was like Clinton +3. So the weird thing is recall vote doesn't actually change that much, at least in terms of like +3 or +2. It just like, you know, there's more people that didn't vote that vote. There's less people the Republicans vote or whatever. So the point is, recall vote is far better. It's not perfect, obviously, but it's far better than the shit we're seeing now.
Way better than ID. Because if anything, like you'd have way less independents because independents just don't vote in midterms typically. Like everyone talks about the party in power doesn't vote as much. Not really
Independents
the case.
don't
More
vote.
so independents fall off.
And it's mostly the independents that voted for the party in power. They're not enthusiastic to vote. That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
And that's why like some of these polls are just ridiculous where it's like, guys, Roy Cooper's going to win by 15 points according to which pollster was that? Oh my gosh, which pollster had like?
And then there was the
10?
Republican internal that had him winning by like 30.
Oh, that's
a couple
right.
months.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Which
It is
honestly,
absurd.
I honestly think that poll, I almost think the Republican put that out as like kind of like a, see, Dubs, you guys don't have to worry about this seat. Honestly,
Yeah, I believe that too.
Maybe. You do have to be careful with some internals because if they have some wacky results like that, yeah, it makes you really wonder. But anyways, American Nerd for 5 started a Virginia video the other day, and I think that Virginia's a lost cause, and it's time to let it go and focus on more important states like North Carolina. Well, no, I'm not denying Virginia's probably a lost cause.
Referendum there,
but there's a referendum coming up.
A
And
referendum in which Republicans are overperforming currently.
yeah, which funny enough, like you know that shitty account like bad electoral takes. I made it because I said like Republicans could maybe win the referendum.
No, people were sticking up for you in the replies.
I know.
So.
That was stupid though.
Also, we can I don't know if you guys mentioned this, but we're not spending any fucking money on this.
We're spending nothing.
Okay, we got a big chunk of money, but it's not been spent. It's going to be spent though. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, but so
fucking now.
Yeah, well, anyways, for those that don't know, I made a video in Virginia a couple days ago with like the referendum and that bad electoral takes count, which you know most of the time it's been solid, but you know, this is like the 5th.
Bad electoral takes is a good account, but they do have they're Democrats, but they're reasonable. But they're gonna have a liberal bias. Like I'm pretty reasonable, but I'm gonna have a fucking conservative bias.
The funny thing is they said like the video was about the Prince William County election. I'm not even joking. They didn't even watch the video.
Oh.
Yeah, so they just made
it was a misunderstanding.
No, they just lied. They just said some guy asked me like, is it about the Prince William County thing? They said no, yeah, that's all we talked about. I didn't even mention the result at all. I just mentioned the referendum. It's stupid, but anyways.
Yeah, that was bad electoral takes is a very good account, but they have like, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, it's whatever. But I still kind of find it funny. It's like I didn't even mention that election. Anyways, RC for 2. Can Vance start finding fraud in North Carolina? Maybe. American Nerd for 5. Also, Mark.
Not every election we're set to lose or projected to lose it is due to fraud, guys.
Trust the plan. It is. American Nerd for 5. Also, the Mark Levin thing. People are overreacting on it. Trump's a boomer. He's going to
Oh
say
yeah,
boomer
no, I know
things.
someone who massively overreacted to the Mark Levin thing last night.
Oh, shut up. I was being sarcastic when I said that.
I was being sarcastic only after 5 people in the streaming server told you to shut up and quit being unreasonable.
Oh,
And then you
gosh.
magically said, I misunderstood the tweet. I'm sorry, guys.
Anyways.
Also,
Trump is a boomer. He's going to say boomer things. Move on. It's like the Rob Reiner thing. Yeah, remember when Rob Reiner was going to be the end of Trump?
we are Rob Reiner. We carry
Shut
the
up.
flame.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Anyways. So, yeah, I do think North Carolina, I still think Democrats are favored here, but
It's back on the menu, boys. That's
yeah,
what
there's a
I'll tell you guys.
chance. There's a chance here. It does come
but-
down to spending, and can Michael Whatley? The problem with Roy Cooper's like he's not pulling as high as he should be. That's his issue. He should be cracking 50% consistently.
And he usually his polls usually overestimate him.
Yeah.
Like 2020, remember that shit show?
Oh,
We thought
yeah.
he was gonna win by like 20 or like
And he won by,
15
like,
points, and
5.
he won
Yeah,
by, like,
exactly. Yeah, that was supposed. Republicans didn't spend any money there. It wasn't supposed to be close, and then he almost loses. It was he won.
He didn't
but it was
almost lose. He won by quite a bit by North Carolina.
He won by 4 points, but the polls had him winning by like 10 plus.
Yeah, exactly. He won by like
It was
4, which is
bullshit.
okay, but not great. I don't think he's as popular as people think he is.
Well, no, because it's like with Andy Beshear in Kentucky. He's seen as moderate because the state legislature is so Republican. So like he can't
At
pass
the end of the
anything
day,
crazy.
too, this is a federal race in North Carolina. People are going to push back on this, but at the end of the day, it's still a red state. And in midterm elections, it's also still a red state.
Titanium red. It does
Dems
not
have
move.
not won a federal race here in 20 years, since 2008.
Well, I think they won a Senate. Well, no, actually,
No,
right.
they didn't.
Yeah,
They
you're
didn't.
right.
The
Yeah,
last Senate race they won was in 2008.
that's right. Yeah.
And I think that was against an incumbent. That was Elizabeth Dole.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much of an upgrade? Like, assuming Whatley wins, which yes, he's an underdog.
I
But
think it's
imagine
still-
how much of an upgrade he'll be over fucking Tillis.
Oh my gosh. You go from like absolute dog shit to probably
You
like,
go from Burr and Tillis to like Bud and potentially Whatley. That's a massive upgrade.
yeah, again, like obviously Bud's like, he's solid. He's not like the best of best, but he's up there. He's
He's
solid.
actually really good. He just doesn't,
Yeah. It's like inverted New Hampshire. Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. It does not move. It does not flip at all at federal levels. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
The
I
South.
mean, he can under the right environment, but
Oh, this is a
I
good
don't
point
think
by
this is
somebody.
gonna.
The South seems to be more immune to wave years due to demographics. Yeah, because the South has higher amount of black voters, and they don't vote in midterms usually. That's just a fact.
That's why, again, Georgia, that's a seat that everyone, I think, especially with the way the polling looks, Ossoff is also not polling very impressively.
I just
right
wish
now.
we had better candidates in Georgia. Like, I know everyone hates Rick Jackson, but he should run against Ossoff because he has the money.
Fuck that
Whatever.
guy.
He should. You know what? If he
Okay,
like,
dude, I'm gonna tell you this. I looked into that story. That was that like people are pushing about him about the whole like DEI or whatever. That wasn't him. That was a company that used his company doing that shit.
No,
Like he was
Luke. That is not my narrative. So,
like
uh,
it's
but-
yeah.
but-
Rick
but,
Jackson. Yeah, go on.
no, Rick Jackson. Say what you will about him, he'd be a very good candidate against Ossoff. Okay, like very good.
it does seem
he
like
should be the
though.
one running Ossoff, not Mike Collins. I like Mike Collins, but he's not gonna be able to win a general.
I think. Listen,
No, here's my thing. I think Collins can win. The problem is apparently there's this scandal. Boston Nationalist is telling me there's this scandal.
Oh boy.
He's told me about a lot of scandals. But there might be a scandal. That's a risk with him. So I guess I'm cautiously supporting Buddy Carter. But if Collins is the nominee, I hope there is no scandal, and I
There's no
hope he
freaking
wins.
scandal. But anyways, the thing with Collins is like, again, I had a whole video on this. I think he's do better than people expect. Not perfect, but
Well, I hope.
No, if
so.
Mike Collins has no scandal, that race is still a toss-up.
but yeah,
And
because
I
Mike
don't
Collins
think-
he's stronger than some people think he is.
And
electorally.
Ossoff is a lot weaker than people think he is.
Yeah, Ossoff, I would argue.
Ossoff is not Warnock. Ossoff is not Warnock.
All
Ossoff
he
got
has
carried
is
by
money.
Warnock. That's what got
All he
carried by.
has right now is money, and even then, we've shown that we can dump like the amount of money he's already raised, and like Dems are talking about how it's a massive amount of money. We dumped that on like Susan Collins in like an afternoon one day.
Yeah,
Remember
and
that?
that's another thing. People understand, like, we have so much fucking money being ready to be spent.
We
It's
better fucking
crazy.
use it, and I think we will. I
Yeah.
think we will, but we better fucking use it
And
properly.
again, before we move on, I wanted to touch on this national poll real quick. I put
Oh
in
yeah.
general.
Clarity
This is
campaign.
another Democratic internal, by the way.
Yeah.
Democratic pollster.
I remember
Their
certain
last poll-
individuals were pushing this big time. I remember this.
Yeah. Yeah, back in January, 51% Democrat, 42% Republican. That's a D+9 result. Today, 47% Democrat, 43% Republican. That went from D+9 to D+4. That is a 5-point
Yeah,
shift.
that is a blue wave.
Which is funny because now which is funny because during that time you have gas prices going up, which people are going to blame Trump.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
At the end of the day, I
gas is,
think most people realize that it's because of Iran, and I don't. People get the ironic thing is, ever since the prices went up, people don't really care.
gas is $5.80 here in California. Pray for
his
me.
numbers have actually gone up in some areas, which is fucking hilarious. But that's
Yeah,
the thing with the whole Iran stuff. It kind of demonstrates that people don't really give a shit about it, honestly. People
Yeah,
don't really care that
people
much.
don't care about Iran.
The thing is, they went up one bit. They went up once, and they're staying pretty stagnant. The problem with under Biden is it was all over the place. It kept going up.
like
Sometimes it would go down. That's what people didn't like. It was unpredictable.
People
If
are
it
really
just
comparing
spiked-
what it was under Biden.
Yeah.
What did it crack $5 on average at one point?
It was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, in California, I wasn't living in California back in 22, but it was like 7.
Oh jeez, that's
It's
gonna
like
piss
580
people off.
now here.
So, yeah, if it's like 350 to 380 or whatever it is on average, it's like people are not gonna. It's not good, obviously, but it's not as bad as was under
But
Biden.
the thing is, if it's stagnant, which that's what it's around. Oil prices have stagnated. They're actually down a little bit today. And there's word that it could get even better because now apparently Iran is considering letting all non-American ships through. If that happens, like the global oil markets are gonna like go down a lot. Because again, you got to remember oil prices are set globally. Because theoretically speaking, you wouldn't think this would really harm U.S. prices a lot because I think 2% of American oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz.
It's worse
The
only
only problem-
indirectly. It hurts.
It's just because it's set globally. That's the problem. That's the only reason it's going up. That's why we're probably not going to have any sort of gas crisis. China is kind of having a gas crisis right now. Like there's videos coming out of China where people they're closing down gas stations and there's like long lines to get gas. It's because the vast majority of their oil comes through that strait. And some of it from Russia, but less so.
Let's see here. Gas was $5. The independents were like, these abortion comments were too mean. Well, part of that was just Republicans being dumb shits, but anyways.
Okay, yeah, those comments were like genuine.
Oh
I'm
no,
sorry,
they're I'm not denying.
I'm
Some of
not
the people like the Michigan one. What did she say? The freaking yeah.
Also, like Whitmer wasn't even that bad of a governor outside of the COVID stuff. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like the roads, like that's something that she actually did. I wish we could get someone to do that in Wisconsin. The roads in Michigan are actually good, and if you know anything about the Midwest, our roads suck. And that's something that Whitmer does deserve a lot of credit for. And also she deserves credit, for working with the Trump administration on economic stuff over the past couple months. So I think
which is going to kill her political career.
Outside of the COVID shit, which again was massive, I'm not discounting that. She's been a pretty decent governor in terms of just getting results for the state.
Yeah, but her political career is dead. There's no fucking way she wins a nomination now.
Which again, you got to respect. She put her state above a presidential bid at the end of the day.
I still don't think she was a good governor, but anyways.
I mean, when you look at everything besides COVID, I can't find much bad shit.
All right.
Hey, gotta go. See you guys later.
Yep, see ya. All right, let's see. The economy needs to get better. Oh, I agree. Like the issue with the whole the oil prices is it's more of a long-term thing. If you keep this going for a while, that's not good. You don't want that to happen. But okay, since we're out of the way with that, I think it's time we talk about everybody's favorite senator from Texas, Ted Cruz.
Oh God,
Yay.
what did Cruz do now?
Okay, let's pull this up. Well, two things he said. Colton Langs has been a member for 16 months. Thank you so much, good sir. But okay.
Yes, Ted Cruz said that.
Yeah, that's not what. Oh, good lord. So let's talk about the first thing. This happened a couple days ago. Basically, Ted Cruz, he went on some shitty show and he said, like, and this is real, that the term crisis kid is anti-Semitic. Yeah.
I love bouncing up really lobby dick. So my name is Ted Cruz.
Yeah, so he actually said this. This is not even a joke. He actually is on recording. He said this live. He said, Chrysler's kid is anti-Semitic. Seriously? This is the hardcore Christian from Texas saying this
He's
shit.
an evangelical.
Yeah. Again, not when we make fun of some people, like, we're not saying every evangelical's like this. They're not. But seriously. But that's not even the worst thing, okay? Because this is already shitty enough with Ted Cruz. But he said something even dumber yesterday. Well, he posted something insane where it was this article from, it was some random, I'm pretty sure this is like an AI slop account. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. But this account posted like an article, like basically like claiming like Catholics are trying to take over the GOP and like it's awful and stuff and Catholics are bad and stuff. And Ted Cruz posted, read every word of this. It's the best and most comprehensive explanation of what we're fighting. And the article directly lays the blame on Catholics and Catholic voters. Welcome to the GOP in the year 2026, everybody. Seriously, this is the... Who does this appeal to? Tyrone,
He's just retarded. He's literally just retarded. That's it. Like, there is no deeper... He's just stupid.
Yeah.
This is literally just the way that he is.
But the thing is, it's like a lot of people on the right, there's like within leadership and like the Senate and stuff, they agree with this shit. It is disturbing because guess what? Catholic voters are getting much more Republican. And guess what? Guess what electorate is critical to win elections in America?
Well, I mean, just also ignoring the fact that the vice president of the United States is a Catholic convert as well.
Yeah. I mean, I could pull up the article right here and like, it's one of those, it's definitely AI slop, but he posted it. He actually posted this shit. It's AI slop. And the first thing it says is, and this is real, how a network of political Catholic, Russian ideologues, and media provocateurs are systematically dismantling the evangelical foundation of the American right. Yeah. The conventional framework for understanding the convulsions tearing through American conservatism treats them as a foreign policy argument. Israel or no Israel, aid or no aid, America first versus globalism. This framing is wrong in the most important possible way. So it's just AI slop. But basically, he retweeted this shit that does nothing but claim the Catholics are taking over, they're ruining the Republican Party, they're causing the Civil War. Question.
It's funny because he's Hispanic.
Yeah.
His entire ethnic heritage is deeply intertwined with Catholicism.
Yeah. It is fucking wild. And he just basically, it's entire thing bashing the, oh my gosh. And like, it bashes the, like the Catholic theology and stuff. It just really, and like Vatican II and stuff. It's just crazy. But this is a sitting senator, by the way. This is not some random Joe off the street. This guy is the senator of the biggest Republican state. My question is like, why do Republicans do this themselves?
You can't help it. They're just idiots.
Yeah. The reason I'm upset is like, A, obviously I'm Catholic, but B, it's just common sense. The electorate is like, what, 25% Catholic? And a lot of swing states, it's even more.
30%.
And it's even more in swing states like Wisconsin and Pennsylvania.
especially Midwestern swing states where there have been historic immigration to.
Yeah, that's why I'm upset. And it's fucking wild because a bunch of these dumb shits are actually agreeing with it. I'm just like stunned. There is nothing here. Like, how can anyone like agree with this? And really, we're at a point now where is there really like how can anyone justify voting Republican if this is what the average person thinks? Like, not every senator or congressman's like this, but people like Ted Cruz, who, by the way, 10 years ago, he was probably our best senator. Who was better than him 10 years ago?
Very few.
Like maybe Jeff Sessions.
What's his name? Ron Saint. I forgot his name. He was the Pennsylvania guy. He was the other Catholic.
What?
I don't remember the name of the other Republican senator from fucking Pennsylvania.
You talking about Toomey?
No, the guy who fucking.
I don't know what you're talking about. Toomey is the only one. Let's see here.
Rick Santorum. That's what I was thinking.
I mean, yeah, you got that, and like, it's a shit. But that was like 20 years ago. There's nothing there. Anyways, American Nerd for 2. Is Cruz trying to sabotage his 28 chances already? No, he tried to rile up like the evangelical base. But even then, that's not enough. K-Cup for 5. Holy fart dart on top of a cart. A poo got deported for the quick EMAR. What? Also, Cruz, the worst example of a Christian. Yeah. And the worst thing is just like, he's only saying this because of Israel. That's the only reason he's saying it. Because Israel good or something. President Gilbert Gideon for 5. Ted Cruz literally speed running his destruction of his political career. Good luck winning Iowa and New Hampshire where there are a lot of Catholics. Well, Iowa does have a lot. In the Republican caucus, it is very evangelical. That's why DeSantis did, better than expected there. But American Nerd for 2. Cruz lost all goodwill from the Toth endorsement. Yeah, he made one good endorsement and went back to shit. The reason I'm only bringing this up is because you look at everything Ted Cruz has been talking about. He has done more to bash other Christians and other Catholics or whatever in the last couple of months. Has he even mentioned what happened in, what's Virginia yet? With the Islamic thing? Did he mention anything about the Texas or the Michigan ones? Seriously, has he mentioned anything about the Islamic issue in America?
No.
In fact, I believe was his last tweet about it like how legal immigration is good? Actually.
Yeah.
Let me pull this up. Legal immigration. Where is it? A glitch EV for 2. Manifesting Senator Brandon Herrera 2030. Please God, yes. Please let that happen. Oh, he might have deleted it. He might have actually deleted it. Yep, I think he did. Oh, no, I got it right here. He posted this like 2 days before he struck Iran, by the way. And question, how many like Islamic texts have been in America since then? In like the last 2 weeks? Like 5, 6? One in New York, you had the nail bomb. You had the shooting in Virginia. You had the nutcase in Texas. You had the nutcase in Michigan. Seriously. I'm harping on this because this is the Republican delegation, by the way. And the worst thing is Ted Cruz is still like, what? Like a top 20 senator still?
Yeah.
That's the whole point. I'm trying to bring up like, this is our delegation, everybody. We still have to deal with people like Ted Cruz. And the sad thing is they're still far better than John Cornyn. They're far better than Tom Tillis or Murkowski or Ernst or name another random senator like Curtis. You can go down the list. He is still, sadly, in the top 20 probably. It's not as good as he was because we got better senators, thank God. But still. K-Cup for 5. This is why Trump hit that if Rubio backup. If something happens to Vance, Rubio's our backup because no way should Cruz be near the presidency. Well, Cruz not with a nomination. I don't see that happening. But American noted for 2, Herrera or Gill for Texas Senate. Gill. I'd pick Brandon Gill 100 times over. I like Herrera, but Brandon Gill's far better, I think. That's just my take. But
Herrera is also unproven right now.
yeah, we don't know. I don't think he's not going to be Thomas Massey type. Let's be honest. He's not going to. Because Thomas Massey's just delusional. But did you guys see the Herrera Confederate video? Yeah, I don't know. What was that about?
2006. It's
Yeah.
from fucking 2006.
So what's the context? Like it's a group.
In 2006, he would have been 11. That's not from 2006. That would have probably
10 years ago or
20,
whatever.
2016.
16, probably. Yeah, that's what 16 is.
So okay, what's the context? It was like a Confederate group or something, right?
He's literally just fucking around. That's literally the context.
Wait, what?
He was literally just messing around. That is the context.
Wow. I mean, like, do they seriously think that's going to work in Texas?
No.
Dumb shit. But yeah. Herrera will be a good mix between MTG and Randy Fine. No, that is like the most schizophrenic options. If you mix Randy Fine and MTG, what do you even get? That is beyond like shit.
I mean, I guess he means Randy Fine on immigration and MTG on foreign policy, but even then, MTG on foreign policy is like
Just isolationist. And
a complete schizo.
yeah, I'm
Not
pretty
even
sure.
not even just isolationism. Like she's pro Ayatollah.
Yeah, she's pro third worldist. And speaking of MTG, I have to bring this up because I laughed hysterically when I first saw this. And I looked at who was like retweeting it and stuff. And you know, again, MTG fell off a cliff. She lost her damn mind. I don't think anyone's disputing that, right? Shirley. Okay, I gotta find this. She might have deleted it. Ted Cruz for Supreme Court Justice and then Brandon Herrera for Senate. You know, still, I do think he wouldn't be a bad pick for Supreme Court still. I know that sounds crazy, but he's a weird senator. He is weird, where like he's a shit senator, I think, but on the Supreme Court, I don't think he'd be that bad. So Daniel Strong for 5. The anti-Israel crowd is retarded, but the pro-Israel crowd is dumb. Oh no, both sides got to lose, honestly, because you have the one side filled with schizophrenics that the anti-Israel crowd, again, they took what was a legitimate issue that 90% of people agree is a serious issue. It's got to be dealt with, and they went off the rails with it. They wasted a golden opportunity to really enact real change when it comes to finance law and foreign lobbies, and they went off the rails. At the same time, you have the pro-Israel crowd being dumb shits, like Mark Levin. I agree with that. 100% agree with that statement. You got the... honestly, who's better at this point? The anti-Israel crowd or the pro-Israel crowd? Honestly, like, I don't know who's better. I really don't know. All right. Placing Cruz and SCOTUS would be a massive gamble. There has to be a way better option. Well, based on what I know, would you guys think Cruz would be a good Supreme Court justice or no?
I think he'd be a pretty good Supreme Court justice, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing with Cruz is, like, he shit on the issues, but he would be, like, the Supreme Court's a different animal. You're talking about a completely different set of things. You're not talking about voting on the Senate floor and trying to pass legislation. You're just, like, reading the law. And I do think he is pretty good on that. He would be pretty solid on it. So I don't think he should be the number one option, but yeah. All right. Where are we at? Okay. The thing though is he has already said he doesn't want to be the Supreme Court justice. Oh, bullshit. If he gets nominated, he would accept it. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Pass Save America Act. Yeah, so the Save America Act, I think, is going to a vote tomorrow, I think, or Wednesday. I think it's going to fail. They're not going to even try the filibuster. They're not even going to try debating it, I don't think. Not a serious debate. And I said this yesterday, and that's kind of the consistent theme. If they don't try to pass it, like, I'm not saying like perfect world it does pass, but if they at least try to get it through, they try to debate, they try to force through amendments, get them on record and keep going on for a while. If it fails, it fails. It sucks, but that's the reality of the Senate. If they don't even try to get it through, I said this yesterday, I think it's a kill Republicans big time. I think it's the final nail in the coffin. They have no chance of winning the House at that point this year. That's my hot take. If they don't even try, their chances of losing the Senate and the House go way up. And their chance of winning the House is like dead. So that's what I'm saying. That's a big deal. They got to try. But do they have the willpower to do so, even though it's a 90-10 issue that even Democrats support? No, they don't. We'll see, I guess. Maybe Mike Lee could pull something. There is a growing amount of Republicans that want to force a talking filibuster, but may not be enough, sadly. Conservative millennial for 5. Once the existential threat of Iran is over, real politics will occur on dealing with the far right in Israel and America will not always follow along. What? Thanks for super chat. American Nerd for 2. Who's Neil Dunn and why is Trump talking about him? He's a congressman, right?
Who?
Neil Dunn.
Yeah.
So apparently Neil Dunn was, oh, hold up, what? So Trump apparently just disclosed that Neil Dunn would have died in June, apparently. Wait, what the hell? Yeah, so Trump just said, and apparently Neil Dunn is retiring. Trump lets it slip that Congressman Neil Dunn of Florida would have been dead by June with terminal heart disease if his doctors did not intervene. So apparently he just almost died.
What the fuck?
Yeah. What the hell?
Why are we just now finding out someone could have died?
Apparently Mike Johnson just said like that wasn't public information. Oh my gosh. These are moments like this with Trump where it's like, yeah, he would have been dead by June. It's like, that's a scary thing to think about.
Death by June.
Like, that's not really a funny thing to laugh at, but it's kind of funny to think like, oh yeah, Trump old people just accidentally reveals, yeah, this guy would have been dead. That's just a random thing to announce to the world. Yeah, he was dead. The doctor saved him. Oh my gosh. American Nerd for 2. We're screwed if the Save America Act doesn't pass. Well, not necessarily. We won in 24. But we're screwed if they don't try. I said this before. If you pass it, you're going to juice up turnout big time on the right. If you don't pass it, but you try, you're still going to help with turnout. You're going to help people realize, oh, we got a chance of passing this. We just got to get out and vote. If you don't try, you're fucked. You're going to lose. So we're going to see what happens with the Save America Act this week. It's a big test for John Thune. He has to find a way to try. Not just one single vote and debate for an hour. No. Go on as long as you can, realistically speaking. If it goes on a couple days and it fails, whatever. It sucks, but that's the reality of it. A glitch Evie for 2. How many of these congressmen are almost dead? All of them? It's wild. Absolutely wild that, like, it's just casually just out of the blue, like, yeah, the guy had a heart issue. He's gonna die.
Is he gonna die?
He's gonna die. Republican Florida second. Yeah, he said he's retiring. And there was rumors he was gonna retire early and resign, but he's not going to. I find it kind of sad that a guy that has like, he's like dying of like heart disease, he's willing to stay in the House longer than MTG is. Because MTG did not want to lose his primary.
Woman.
So, yeah. Well, the Crazy Bear for 2. Bully Thune into not running. Ask Tillis. Well, I mean, when is Thune up? 28? Yeah, 28. So, maybe. Maybe. We'll see. It's entirely possible to pass it while keeping the filibuster intact. They have to pass it. Yeah, there are ways to pass it. They don't want to do it. I can't believe we're talking about a 90-10 issue that would, there are no downsides for the GOP here. Is there a single downside for passing this?
No.
So what's the
Other
fucking
than you
point?
upset 1% of centrist, respectable moderates or whatever the fuck.
Even moderates love this bill. It's just fucking crazy. I am Battlefield for 2. Our vice president is Catholic. Yeah, so let's have Ted Cruz running around and say how Catholics are in a giant conspiracy. And they're trying to take over the GOP. Dumbass. I'm not as anti-Thune as some people, but John Barroso should have been Senate Majority Leader. I agree. I was pushing Barroso for a reason. He's not perfect, but he was a lot better than this guy. Assassin for 2. How will the Kurd invasion affect the North Carolina Senate race? I don't know. Thune just doesn't have a backbone. That's the issue. Yeah, I think Thune's a good guy. I think he is a nice guy trying, but he just does not have it in him to be a leader. He just doesn't have it. If he had McConnell's backbone, maybe.
You don't got that dog in them.
Yeah. He just if he had McConnell's backbone, it would have worked probably. But he's just too nice of a guy, I think. But anyways, pass a SAVE Act. No, it's a Save America Act. How many times do I explain this? The SAVE Act is a shittier version. They're trying to ram through it. We want the Save America one. That one's good. I mean, but both are good, but like the Save America one is way better. So Barroso's a rhino. He does not want to pass a SAVE Act. That's false. He might not support the talking filibuster, but that's about it. And we do got some breaking news, everybody. Breaking: Border Patrol Commander at Large Greg Bovino has retired from Border Patrol. For those that don't know, this was a guy in Minneapolis a couple of weeks ago that was like leading the charge and like, yeah. So he just retired. Apparently he served 30 years in the Border Patrol. W's a chat for Bovino for serving for 30 years. I don't know if he got forced out or not. He did get reassigned in California because what happened in Minneapolis. But to be fair, I think that was just Christy Norman a dumb shit in Minneapolis. They had to bring Tom Homan in because of that. But yeah, Bovino, who's kind of become a popular name on the right, he retired. So yeah. Let's see. Trump just needs to endorse Ken Paxton. I agree. He does. But yeah, Bovino is gone. Again, I don't know if he got forced out. I don't know if this was a forced retirement because what happened in Minneapolis. I still don't think I blame him for that. What happened there? I think those Christy Noam. But and speaking of DHS, Tyrone, do you think Mullins be better than Noam?
Yeah.
I don't think
Mullins
actually
way
asked.
more corrupt, but he actually does shit. So
Yeah, Mullins like insanely comically corrupt. You think Noam is bad with corruption? Mullins gonna make her look like nothing. It is incredible how corrupt that guy is. Like he is in the U.S. Senate, he's probably the biggest inside trader by far. It's not even close.
Yeah, no, he bought a bunch of shit for companies he's now going to be overseeing legislatively. Like last week, I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that. It just conveniently, he invested like millions of dollars in these companies. I wonder why. But yeah, I think Mullen, like the trade-off is he's way more corrupt, but I think he's gonna be like, he's gonna actually do the job properly. Hopefully. Trump at the doors, Kevin Hearn for Senate. That's a huge upgrade. Mullen like is a generic senator. Hearn's not like the best, but he's an upgrade. And apparently the guy replacing Hearn is a bigger upgrade than Hearn. So it's upgrades all around. So Joseph for 5. To be honest, Whatley should not have run, and Laura Trump would have been a better candidate. I get the idea of like you run a Trump in North Carolina, get people to vote, but I don't know. I think Whatley should have been an artsy chair. He was far better than the current dumb shit we got now. What's his name? Like Joe Grunters or whatever his name is. He's garbage. But I don't know. He should like Lord Trump at the bare minimum should stay at the RNC. But her being the nominee, maybe. I don't know. I still think it's not the best idea, but anyways. He was a bad senator, so this is a good move. Oh yeah, again, like Mullen's like best case scenario, a generic senator, but the corruption is just so egregious. That's just like brings his average voting record to like shit. But anyways, when you get the voter rolls fixed in a lot of states, we'll pass Save America Act. You'll fix it. Harrigan would have been better or Richard Hudson. Yeah, they're good options, but Whatley's fine. He's not a bad candidate. Just I think he's better suited as RNC chair. I don't get why Trump did that. That was just stupid. Like, I don't get what the plan was to remove Whatley when he clearly was a good RNC chair. Just baffling. Harrigan would have been better, yeah. I do agree that she would have been better because name recognition, but the problem is Democrats would pounce on. She's from Florida. She doesn't want to be here. Well, yeah, that's an issue with everybody like Laura Trump. They don't actually live in the state, but
I'll be back in a bit.
okay. We got some breaking news from the Court of Appeals, everybody. Hold up. We got some breaking news. Yeah, a U.S. appeals court has just lifted a block on Trump policy. Hold on. How the fuck did Joe Gunter get Florida Renwies here with the RNC? He just showed up and yeah. He kind of was just there. He kind of get credit for something he didn't do. Yeah, he's just done awful. But yeah, we got some breaking news. Apparently, yep, right here. So a U.S. appeals court has lifted a block of Trump policy, allowing the rapid deportation of migrants to other countries other than their own. So apparently, and this was a policy Trump was doing where they could deport anybody to really anywhere they wanted to. And of course, a lower court blocked it and said, no, you can't do that. Apparently, now Trump can do it, which is going to make deportations so much easier. Like we said last week, the judicial problem is not really the appeals court, not really the Supreme Court either, really not the appeals court. It's just these lower court justices got to go. This is fucking crazy. They just block everything. And even these appeals courts, they're most of the time, they're just going against it. They're just saying this is stupid. But yeah, so we have this big court victory. It does sound like it means that deportations are going to accelerate, or they should, because this was a huge issue where they couldn't deport anybody. But again, another judge is going to block it. It's going to be a judge from Massachusetts or Rhode Island or freaking God knows where. It's just stupid. American Earth for 10. Businessman and Navy veteran Jackson Stallings has now it's that he's running oh my gosh. Businessman and Navy veteran Jackson Stallings has announced that he is running for the Republican primary for the Oklahoma 1st District. Brandon Gill and Steve Large have endorsed him and thoughts. I've heard he's pretty good. I heard he's an upgrade over Kevin Hearn. And getting the Brandon Gill endorsement's huge. That is a very good sign. That is pretty solid. We need to sign remigration treaties with all these new friendly countries in Latin America. I heard something about that they're actually looking into that. For those that don't know what that is, it's the idea of, okay, now that we have Venezuela, Ecuador, Panama, El Salvador, Guatemala, all these countries, Argentina or Chile, all these countries are now pro-West or pro-America. The idea is, now these people that they came to America the last 50 years or whatever, they don't have an excuse to really be here anymore. So the idea is they work with these countries and they basically incentivize people that are here legally or illegally or whatever to just go back to where they came from. That's substantial because a large chunk of the immigration the last 50 years have come from Latin America. I've heard rumors of looking into that, and I think they should. You got El Salvador, you got Venezuela, you got Colombia, Panama, Ecuador, Argentina, Chile. It's going to be Brazil soon. So you got basically the entirety of Latin America, even Cuba, though Cuba, I don't know. Most Cubans probably going to stay here, but who knows? But yeah, all the other countries, send them back. Mexico, eventually when we deal with cartels, do the same thing there. The idea is we're not going to, this is kind of the closest thing to remigration. We're not going to force them out, but incentivize them like, hey, you can stay here, but your old countries are stable again. You can go back. That would be huge if we did that. Okay, come for 5, breaking after appeals court lifts blocking policy. A judge in Rhode Island issues another block, says appeals court has started democracy. Yeah, pretty much. We're pretty much at that point, and I'm not going to be surprised if a judge does that. But yeah, I want to see, could they go through the remigration treaty like that? That is interesting. Even if they just take back like 10% of the immigrants we had, that's a huge deal. Brazil's the last big domino. Yeah, because Colombia is going to it's flipping now. It's that ship has sailed. Brazil's the last like major country that we have to worry about. And it's looking like Bolsonaro's going to win. His son is. American Earth for 10 from New York Post. Trump was briefed by U.S. intelligence that Iran's new supreme leader may be gay. Trump could contain a surprise and laughed aloud when briefed on the intelligence. Wait, what? There's no fucking way that's real. There is no way that's actually real. Hold up. Is that actually a real thing? Let me look up. We look up Trump War Room or something. Oh my gosh. Wait, what? Hold on. Is this actually real? The Trump War Room posted it. Oh my gosh. What? Trump briefed that the Iran new supreme leader is probably gay. Well, I wonder why they're posting that. Gee, I wonder why. It's as if they're playing 4D chess here, because Iran has yeah. Anyways, this is fucking crazy. Oh my gosh. They purposely leaked it because even if the guy's alive, I don't think he is. They may have a huge problem because yeah. This is just fucking crazy. Welcome to the year 2026, everybody. This has to be a simulation. There's no way this is real. Now we know why the Iranians are hiding him. Oh my gosh. Queers for Iran. I mean, it's just freaking crazy that this is actually real. A real thing for Trump War Room. So it's not just some random account posted it. It's the Trump War Room. Apparently Trump was laughing at this. I would too. It's just like, wait, this dumb shit's like actually like that. It's just really. Oh man. K-Cup for 2. Come on, he exists. Trump. Oh my God, you're gay. This is like the best timeline we're on. Yeah, it's a South Park gig. It is. It is just one giant South Park episode at this point. You cannot convince me otherwise. It's beautiful. I love the simulation we're in now. It's perfect. South Park is making an episode on this. No, they're just gonna attack Trump because he's a devil or whatever. So, let's see. Do we win in Michigan? For the Senate race, I don't think so. It's be close because it is a competitive primary, but I don't think so. I don't think so right now. Okay. Where are we at? Yeah, but it's just fucking crazy that this is a real headline. Yeah, the guy's actually gay. Dude's been exposed for missing a leg, being in a coma, having a broken dick, and now gay. Wake up, instantly hate my. Oh my gosh, I'm not reading the rest of that. Yeah, I mean, Again, I don't know how real this is, but they're definitely playing 7D chess with this shit. They leaked it on purpose because they know that's the thing over there they don't want to have. So, unfortunately, I don't see Lula and their corrupt communist judges allowing Bolsonaro to win. The military may just coup them at that point. We'll see. Let's see. The more chaotic the world is, the more entertaining it is. At some point, though, we're kind of reaching a breaking point for how crazy it can be. How can it get crazier? Because we're only in what, March? We're not even in April yet, and already we've gone through Venezuela being thrown out of power. Colombia bent the knee. Freaking, we bombed the shit out of Iran. We killed the Ayatollah. It's just everything all at once. Think the guard will go after him if they haven't already. Well, he's like their puppet, basically. He's probably dead. Yeah, Bolsonaro's going to probably win in Brazil. Could that change? Yeah, but Poland's looking pretty good for him. Looking very good for Bolsonaro. Yeah, Cuba's done. Like, they bet the knee already, essentially, and they're going to fall apart. You may not like what Trump's doing, but, like, everything he wants to do is working. Look, Venezuela is a perfect example. That took about a month or two to get going. Look at that. We're best friends with him. We got an embassy there now. We have people on the ground. We're getting oil there. So it's a big win for everybody. Huge win. All right. If anyone got any more super chats, any more questions, concerns, whatever, send them now. Last calls for super chats. Last calls for super chats, everybody. Iran is doing this supreme leader thing to prevent internal chaos. Well, yeah, they need it because that's their whole system. They don't. If the guy's dead, it's over. Cuba, you're next. Yeah, they already gave up. They're already bending the knee. I guarantee you that within a couple of weeks, that regime's gonna go to Russia or some shit. They're gonna flee to Russia for asylum. Magic show for 3. Reality is always stranger than fiction. It is. Very strange. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.